Do you feel like you're doing a good job of getting open?
I think we as receivers, I think we always feel like we are doing a good job of getting open, but there's always room for improvement there too. It's in terms of making sure we're at the right depth, the right yardage, and all that stuff to get the timing down. But I would say I think we're doing a good job of getting open.
Calvin, one of the conversations been like around the offense this week. Najee was telling us earlier in the week you guys kind of had a conversation about being more physical and taking ownership, things along those lines.
Yeah, it just went right back to when we looked at film about each person looking at themselves. It's not anything where we got to point fingers, look at a different position or anything of that matter. It was just each person looking at it as in terms of, okay, if I would have strained for this block more, there could have been a big play right here, would have changed the whole dynamics of the game. And so I think we just took that approach of, forget all the other talking about this and that. Let's just focus on ourselves. Each person focus on themselves and just play as hard as a team that we're lining up against. And we have the guys, we have the talent, so we know we can get the job done.
Calvin, it seems like Najee was almost suggesting it was like a players-only meeting type of situation. Is that what you're saying? Is that what happened?
I wouldn't say players only, but it was definitely, some players that voiced their, how they've been feeling and stuff. And so I think we've been on the same page, but we just got even more, on the same page and, in tune with each other.
You talked about each player is just focusing on themselves and things that they want to improve on. What's something that you're focusing on yourself?
I mean, I'm still early in my playing career, so I still feel like I got everything to improve on, as far as just like route running, technique, recognizing different coverages and stuff like that. But so I would just say, continuing to play fast and just be an all-around receiver. That's kind of what I've been saying from day one, and so that's kind of what I've still been honing in on.
Calvin, obviously you were around here last year. What do you know? What do you feel about this rivalry with the Ravens?
It's very intense, I mean, each team got a great deal of respect for each other and just the history behind it. It's an honor to be a part of this rivalry, and it's just a great intensity. And as Coach says, like each team know each other. There isn't really many secrets or things you'll find out on the game day. I mean, everybody kind of knows what to expect. It's just about getting out there and just playing hard.
Mike Tomlin spent a lot of time talking about the inside linebackers for Baltimore. What are you noticing about their secondary? And so what are you using this tape to study these guys? A little fluky last week, right, when they had to go up against the backup quarterback?
Just in terms of their defense in general and how they play hard, assignment detail football, and you can tell that they rally to the ball. And so, making sure, after we catch the ball, protecting the ball, and, their corners, they play with good technique. So it's going to be our route running is going to definitely be heightened this week, and we're going to have to win some one-on-ones.
Lamar so far through 4 games, does he look same Lamar, or different systems? He look different than he has in the past? What's leading to their success so far?
He looks like Lamar Jackson. He looks like a guy that could do it all. He looks like a guy that could get the ball out to his threats. He looks like a guy that can scramble around the pocket, make people miss, and extend the play with his arm or his legs. So he looks like the Lamar Jackson that we all know and love.
That challenge specifically, how much do you enjoy that from your perspective? Is it a little more almost like a chess match when you have a QB who's that versatile and can hurt you in so many
ways?
Yeah,
for sure. It's always a tough matchup when you're going against Lamar or any guy like Lamar. You got to be on your P's and Q's 24/7. You might have to come out of your assignment and help out when it's scrambling. Then when you're in coverage, you got to cover for an extra amount of time. So, it's a chess match, but also at the end of the day, it's you just doing your job and showing support when you need to do it.
You guys haven't faced Lamar all that often because of injuries or just timing or things. Does that make it, more exciting or just more of a fun challenge to be able to see him at this point in the season?
We're just excited to play the Baltimore Ravens. You know what I'm saying? They're an AFC North team. They're a great football team, hard-nosed football team. I think we both built the same type of way in regards to the type of teams we are. So we're just excited to be able to play the Baltimore Ravens. Whoever plays quarterback, that's who plays quarterback. This week is going to be Lamar. And, it's like I said earlier, it's a challenge, but it's a challenge we're willing to take on.
Minkah, the offense seems to have taken Tomlin's you guys weren't physical enough assessment to heart. What did that mean to you when you heard that? How's the defense responded to it?
It's got to be more physical.
Does that surprise you that we come up with this group?
It's got to be more physical. Because the coach asked us to do this, so we got to do it.
Did you feel like you guys were more physical in practice yesterday, or has that been emphasized in team meetings this week?
I mean, we had pads on, so we got to be more physical than when we don't have pads on. But besides that, I think, we're going about our business, be more detailed, because when we're able to play fast, you get to play more physical. When you're hesitating and you're guessing and you're assuming, you play a lot slower. You're not playing as downhill as you would like to be. So I think part of it is, being in pads, but also being more detailed in our walkthroughs, in our run game walkthroughs, and when we're in practice.
What's your experiences with Mark Andrews, man?
My experience with him?
Well, any details, any anecdotes, anything interesting? I'm sure you've covered him many times.
Yeah, he's a really good tight end, man. I think he's one of the best in the league, if not the best in the league. He's a guy that could do a whole lot. He's a guy that is he's sneaky fast. He's a guy that runs good routes. He has great catch radius. He supports in the run game. There's not too much that they don't ask him to do. And he's been with Lamar for a long time now. I think 6 years now. Played a lot of football together, so they have great chemistry, which allows him and Lamar to make a lot of great plays.
What does Zay Flowers bring to the Ravens offense?
He brings an explosiveness. He does a lot for them horizontally, vertically. That's really explosive. They like getting the ball in space, making guys miss. He turns a small game into a big game by making a lot of people miss. So he brings in explosiveness and edginess, chippiness to the Baltimore offense.
Because the big change that there are fewer design runs and more of what we see rushing from Mars.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Is there fewer design runs that you see in this offense than what we saw previously?
No, not really. I think maybe they're spreading the formations out a little bit more, but they're still running Lamar in situational football. They're still putting the ball in their guys' hands. You know what I'm saying? But no, I don't think there's too much of a drop off.
You mentioned details. It's an offense, especially. I mean, you have to be on it every week, but with this group, if you're out of your details, they can really expose you.
Oh yeah. They do a lot that could get you out of position. They do a lot that makes you have to play with good eyes, good feet, good technique, tackling in the open field. They make you have to win one-on-ones. That's part of the Zay Flowers talk. So yeah.
Overall, what is your evaluation of what kind of went wrong against Houston last week?
We're past Houston. We're on Baltimore.
Thanks, Minkah.
Thank you.
Cam, do you know when you might come back? Or is there a timeline of when you think you'll be able to get back on the field?
Don't know. There's not a lot I can say. I just think I'm working my tail off trying to get back, and we'll see when we get there.
Cam, what are you seeing from a defensive standpoint, and what's been kind of your advice to guys?
When I look at the group, there's some good things, some bad things. We're 2-2. We've done things right twice at a time, and two other times we didn't get it done. But I think just as a group, just have to keep battling back. Got to be more sound in the run game. We get off the field and we control the line of scrimmage. It's going to look a lot better, and then it's going to allow our pass rushers to really get out there. And that's what you can really look at through the first 4 weeks.
Cam, did you have a sense during the game the physicality wasn't there?
We got a lot of perimeter runs, and so for me, it's hard to just say that's a physicality thing. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. I think I'm a little bit more skewed because I'm looking at it from a different, lens. But that's what pads are for. It's Baltimore week. We should be getting pads on. So I think it was going to be a prerequisite regardless.
Cam, what have you seen from the guys who have had to step up in your absence, and what conversations have you had with them?
I'm proud of those guys. Keanu Benton's growing every week. You look at Larry Ogunjobi taking more of a leadership role in our room. There's been a multitude of guys. DeMarvin Leal playing a lot more. how about Mon Adams? Mon Adams, I feel like is really come on, but it's a process that's not just defined by one game or one quarter of the season. We have to continue to keep growing, and I think Coach Dunbar is doing a hell of a job doing that.
You mentioned Keanu Benton. What specifically are you seeing from him early?
Just great hands. He's getting more of a feel for the game. Mistakes he was making in preseason, those have been eradicated. I think he feels a lot more comfortable. I love when I first saw him in preseason. I caught him, glaring up at the stands, and it's a different feel in an NFL game. But I felt like he really settled down, and he's ready for the fight.
You think he was looking for Taylor Swift?
I don't think Taylor Swift is coming to Pittsburgh games.
Why is it important for you to be on the road? Why do you like that?
Whether it's what I see on the field, trying to keep guys together, whatever's needed. Unfortunately, I've been in this situation one other time when I tore my pec, and just in that sense, I felt like I learned a lot about how I could be better, what the team needs. Luckily enough, I get to come back during the season at some point, but trying to just be an extension of the players to coaches and coaches to players, seeing what I see, and hopefully I just want to get the best seat in the house.
Cam, how frustrating has it been to be sidelined while you've been watching the defense, and particularly when they're struggling against the run?
It's frustrating enough not being able to play, but I think looking at it, it's not like my guys aren't trying. There's little things we just got to clean up, and hands, eyes, your key, how we step to a block. All these things can change the way we control the line of scrimmage, and hopefully we've learned our lesson. The quickest way to get over this is to get a W on Sunday and say it's because of the defensive line and the defense.
Cam, can you say with certainty you'll be back this season?
Yes.
Cam, you're obviously such a leader on this team on and off the field. When you don't get to have that on-field experience, do you step up in other ways for the guys, and if so, how?
Yeah, being more vocal outside of the field, constantly talking about plays. I think as much as I can't do anything with my play, I like to think I can help out and just be a constant reminder that they're doing the right things, and you can take a lot from this game and apply it to the next game.
I know that TJ didn't necessarily have any sacks against the Texans, but he started off really hot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just what have you seen from him early, and how well is he playing off of having Alex Highsmith out there?
I think TJ and Alex are playing really good. I think they feed off of each other. They're making game-changing plays. Obviously, TJ started the season with 6 sacks. And that's the way you want to start in the pass rushing department. But I think you can ask him today. He's out here for W's, and that's what he's looking at for the group. The thing I love about what TJ's doing, he's leading the group. It's not just him out there being a cowboy. He's talking about it. He's communicating, and it's allowing everybody to play better because of it.
Is that a role that you've seen him grow into just the longer that he's here?
Yeah, I think there's a comfortability you can fall into. You're a great player, but also a great leader as well. TJ's really grown to that, and I think you see him being more vocal, challenging guys, and we need guys like that. Minkah does the same thing on the back end.
Cam, your locker is by Kenny. Have you talked to him, had advice, and how do you think he's done?
Yeah, I've talked to him. I've just said it's a long season. Don't get too high or too low. Luckily, when you're a quarterback, your number is always called. So, I think you can't be too high on the losses. I mean, too low on the losses and too high on the wins. But there's always room for improvement. There's not a game I felt like I played in that, man, I got everything right. Everything worked entirely like I saw it. There's always something you can grow from, and man, you got to take these bumps and bruises now because you'll be better because of it.
Did Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce ever answer you?
No, Travis did. Expected, but yeah. I don't know what else to say to that.
Okay. Thanks, Cam.
Yeah.